Hello. Wait, let me see if I'm live on my Facebook and YouTube. How's your weekend so far? Yeah, let's see. Okay, I'm live. All right. All right, guys, welcome back to Ask Jason Anything About Facebook Ads on a Sunday night. And if this is the first time you see me, welcome to my universe. My name is Jason. I'm from Malaysia. I'm a Meta Ads optimization strategist. So basically, there are two ways you can work with me. First thing first, if you have a campaign that is performing well and you're looking to take it to the next level, meaning to scale it, to expand it, but you tried several times on your own and you can't seem to find a like stability in scaling your campaign, we can work together. So my philosophy is very straightforward. When we have a campaign that is performing, before we scale it, we really need to find out what is really working in the campaign itself and what is not working. So we will go through a process of optimization, meaning we'll find out what's really working. Let's say if you have low CTR, but yet your ROAS is really good. That means by improving the CTR, maybe by like tweaking different creative and all that, may take your campaign to the next level, even with the same amount that you are spending. So we actually optimize first before we scale. The whole idea is very simple. If you scale without optimizing or without knowing what's working in your campaign, you do not know what to monitor, and you do not know what will be the next step for you to watch whether this is ready for the next scale and what is the scaling framework. It really depends on how much you are looking to scale and how much are you looking to double down in your campaign. So that's how I work with clients or meta advertisers from all around the world, really to stabilize the campaign. So if that's what you're really looking for, then you may actually click on the link somewhere on my YouTube profile, to actually reach out to me, and we can explore about working together. Now, the other situation is you have been trying to run ads, but you can't find success, really, as in like you have tried several methods on your own, and you don't know what to monitor, you don't know what's working or what's not working in your campaign, and you need somebody to help you strategize and build a campaign for you. And then after that, at the same time along the way, you get to watch and learn for yourself, to acquire all the necessary skills for you to make it actually manage it in the future on your own. That's also something I work with clients as well. So if that's what you're looking for, then you can actually click on the link in my profile. Then basically we can actually work together. So what I do here is, this is where I go live every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. So what I do is I would actually answer questions that I receive from my community, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, but mainly if you have any questions, in my opinion, first go to my YouTube channel, because I've got over 1,000 videos posted on my YouTube channel. Chances are I probably have answered something similar to the challenge that you're facing. I may have some, answer for your situation right now. If you can find one, great. Just finish watching the video, get the solution, move on and work on whatever that you need to work on, because there's so many things we need to work on when it comes to meta ads optimization, right? But if you can't find an answer, don't worry, okay? All you need to do is just post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up your question, I'll screenshot it, like what I'm going to show you later, and I would actually answer your question live in my next AMA. I do this every Sunday night. Well, almost. I skip a couple of times, but yeah, as you can see, I've been doing this for 180 weeks now. This is episode 180. So I do plan to continue in the foreseeable future. So yeah, just post your question and come back next week to listen to my answer. And yeah, that's how it works. Now, just in case you have something that is more private, you say that, Jason, can I not go live? And can I have a private one-on-one session with you to go through my questions and whatnot? Yes, you may. Scan this QR code. It will take you to my Fiverr gig, where you can purchase a 30-minute one-on-one Zoom call with me, and we can do whatever we need to do. Share your screen. We can actually analyze your campaign, go through your setup, answer your questions, anything that you need to do about meta ads optimization. If that's what you want to do, scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you. Now, if you're starting out with Facebook advertising, or meta advertising rather, at the moment, and you are looking for a more structured method to run ads on your own, well, I would recommend my Facebook Ads Masterclass. This is a two and a half hour recorded training, okay? And the last recording was in November 2023. And to be frank, up to now, when I'm making this video, almost a year now, nothing much changed. You can still watch the video and do everything you need to do to make your campaign work. So yeah, this is really derived from a strategy, or rather, a structure that I work on and I use to run Facebook ads since 2010 until now. So been using this method for many months, many years now, so it works. So what's covered in this Facebook Ads Masterclass? 5 things. First, I will explain about my structure, my framework, it's called 2-step funnel, and how to set it up, okay? How do we allocate the budget? How do we create messaging for the top of funnel, retargeting? How do we, work on audiences and stuff? So everything is gonna be step-by-step walkthrough. So that's first thing. The structure is really important. And as we move along, we talk about objective selection, which is, in my opinion, pretty essential, because if you choose the wrong objective, you eventually will start getting the wrong audience into your funnel, and everything is going to crumble. So the audience timing, the objective is the next thing that we talk about, the second thing. And the third one is we talk about audience targeting, which is something that a lot of people are concerned about. So there are many methods of audience targeting right now, but there are some proven methods that I use since many years back. And I would like to share with you those methods so that you can start making your own consideration whether which one is more suitable for you. So yeah, the third one is audience targeting. And the fourth one is ad creation, ads creative and copywriting. Now, let's put it this way. I'm no expert in ads design and copywriting, but as I work with clients from all around the world, after seeing all these campaigns, I would share with you what's working and what's not working. And basically, would actually cut short your learning curve, because you don't need to actually kind of bang on the wall and waste your own money to do all the testing that is quite unnecessary. So that's the fourth part. And the fifth part, in my opinion, is one of the most essential part, because this is where I would share with you how to analyze and optimize your campaign. Because anyone with a Facebook ad account can start running ads on Facebook, but how do we know if our campaign is working or not? Okay. How do we make decision whether what do we do next in order to take the campaign performance to the next level? So this is something that it actually takes a while to learn, but I will teach you the fundamental. At least you know what are the key metrics that you should monitor, how to make sense of them, how do we interpret them. So as you know all this basic and you start analyzing your own campaign over time, you'll get better and better at this thing. To be frank, it's not really something that I can teach in one class and you become an expert in it. It actually takes some practice. So that's actually how I work with a lot of my clients right now. We meet weekly, and then we analyze the campaign, we make decision on the performance and stuff like that. So that's what we do. But anyway, I don't want to go there first. If you want to learn, this will be a very good class for you to start with. Scan this QR code and you will actually go to the link that you can purchase the course, and you can start learning right away. It's a recorded training, and you always get the latest version, because anytime when there are major changes in Ads Manager and stuff, I would actually do a re-recording, and you'll always have access to the latest version of it. So don't worry about that. Just go through that, and yep, happy learning. Now, just in case, I do have clients come to me and say that, Jason, I've gone through learning with a lot of different, experts, and I kind of get things here and there, but how do I piece things together? How do I build my own structure and build my own strategy? Would you be able to help that? Yes, I do. In every month, I take a handful of clients where I would work with you one-on-one to do 2 things: to design your strategy and to set it up for you. So we have 2 calls. The first call is actually very straightforward. You come in and share with me your KPI, your goals and all that, and what will be your budget and what will be the business structure and all that. I would actually go through and access all your campaign structure and stuff, and I would actually design a strategy for you where we will talk about what are the creative that we should be looking at for the top of funnel, and what are the messaging that we should be choosing for the retargeting, and how do we actually structure the campaign budget, how much do we spend on the top of funnel retargeting, and what are the audiences that we're going to use and all that. So we discuss that. And even if you have a landing page, I would actually go through the landing page and give you my 2 cents worth of, recommendations about how you can actually kind of improvise it. At least, we do our capability best to make sure everything is done right before we take it to the next level. So that's the first call. So you go back and do whatever necessary changes on the landing page and the creation of the creative and everything. On the second call, we will set up the campaign together over the Zoom call. Invite anyone who needs to come and see this, and everything will be recorded. So I will be setting up the campaign according to the structure that we built, and everything is yours. Consider this, more like a tailored training for your own business. where you can actually use this to train your, like future stuff in the future. So pretty useful. A lot of clients loves that. So basically that's how we can start working together, and immediately you have a structured campaign up and running, and hopefully you'll start seeing result right away. Okay, and yeah, so that's what we do. Now, I'm going to go through questions that I have right now in this week. We don't have a lot, but if you are watching this, if you have any questions, feel free to pop your question as a comment in the chat. I would actually go through as I finish all these questions. I'll come back to the questions that I get on the chat. Okay, now let's roll. So the first question is coming from Kayen. So Kayen is asking this to Andy, but I'm not sure who's Andy. I'm just going to answer on behalf of Andy anyway. So Kayen is asking, if you were to change your checkout page and thank you page, would this affect meta learning? So if you change your checkout page and thank you page, definitely this will affect the learning, because eventually the outcome has to be changed, because you need to, theoretically, it may not seem to be changing because you are actually doing all these changes in the back end. But because, for example, when you set up the campaign to purchase, so now what happened is you have a different purchase thank you page. So basically, it will start learning, instead of one thank you page, it will start learning from 2 thank you pages right now. So it may not be that impactful in terms of affecting the learning, because the learning is accumulated at the front end, which is the campaign level, whereby as long as nothing major change in the campaign level, when we say major change would be audience targeting changes, add creative changes, impactful ones, as in like we talk about, let's say you totally change the creative, you have a totally different copywriting, you have a different landing page, even you have significantly changed your budget, all these are going to trigger learning on the front end. But having said that, what you're doing right now is you're changing things at the back end, meaning you're not totally nothing touched on the campaign level, but you're adding another thank you page, or rather your landing page or checkout page to your event. So let's say your purchase event, before that you have thank you 1, now you also have thank you 2, so you have 2 thank yous in that one. So it may not be that impactful. It's because theoretically you do not change the front end. So theoretically the front end, the campaign would not be changed, but the learning will actually be impacted, because theoretically Meta doesn't know who are the people who are likely to complete thank you to, let's say, but having said that, if both are the same similar product in the same website and all that, the learning is accumulated. So in fact, if based on what I know about the whole thing, you can safely do whatever you're about to do, and just go on and do that. You don't need to have a campaign, because when you have a new campaign, that means you're totally having a totally new thing. But that's also another strategy that you can actually look into, because if you want to test totally different thing, because if you have 2 campaigns, one is for thank you 1, second is for the thank you 2. Theoretically, they are 2 different campaigns, but they are actually going to the same goal, because when it comes to purchase in the event level, you only have 1 purchase, but you can have multiple thank you pages that labeled as purchase. Yeah, if I make sense. So it's one event. So if it's all the same event, you can actually just do that, keep the campaign running, and you do whatever changes at the back end, because that will minimize the learning. Because what is more important right now is my question. In fact, the next question will be, is your campaign performing right now? If your campaign is performing right now, I will actually recommend to keep everything on the front end going as it is, and you just do the tweak at the back end, because that's on the website level, and you're adding another thank you to the mix of the purchase event. So that's it. That's what I think it would be. But having said that, it will be a lot easier for me to really look at your campaign structure and see what would be the best recommendation. Because we probably, before we go into that, we probably want to see if there is anything that we can optimize at the campaign level. Let's say the creative can be optimized, or the thank you pages or the landing page can be optimized, and many things. So it really depends on what are the help that you need right now. But if you will need more help further than this, you can actually go for this gig, because this is where I would actually analyze your current campaign to give you a recommendation. Because to be frank, I'm not sure why you're changing the thank you page. You may not need to, or maybe I understand your need. I would actually be able to give you better recommendation. But basically what we're going to go through in the ads review is we're going to actually analyze. First, I'll build you a dashboard. We will pull out all the necessary metrics that you should monitor. From there, we would actually start analyzing, and I will share with you how do we make sense of the metrics as well. And then after that, the third thing is I'm going to build you a plan. Let's say or we realize that, oh, the ROAS is not bad, but the CTR can be improved, then maybe we can test different creative. Or we are seeing that the leakage where a lot of people lands, but very little people add to cart. Then is there anything that we can do by analyzing the landing page and stuff? So that's what we can do, work together. So yeah, it's called the ad review. So if that's what you need, scan this QR code. It will also take you to my Fiverr gig where you can purchase a 30-minute one-on-one Zoom call with me, and we can start from there. Okay, if that's what you want, scan this, and I look forward to work with you. And thanks for the question. Now I would go to the second question I have here. Is coming from Tal. Okay, just Tal. Okay, so Tal said you deleted your profile linked to the restricted business manager. Does the page linked to that business be deleted also, even if you have other admins only on page but not on the business? Theoretically, no. Because these three are totally different entities. First thing first, when you have a restricted business manager, you will not be able to detach the page linked to the restricted business manager, okay? And theoretically, you're also not allowed to delete the page as well. But you can unpublish the page if you try, because most of my clients just abandon the situation because when you have a restricted business manager, it's gone. But having said that, if your profile is not restricted permanently, you can still do things with the profile. So you see, there are different combinations here, okay? But why do you delete your profile in the first place? Is it permanently restricted? Or is it just linked to a restricted business manager and your profile is actually not tainted? You're fine. So sometimes we may not want to jump into conclusion too fast because, to be frank, you want to see what's really the root cause. But having said that, the worst case scenario is you have your business manager restricted is gone. You know, whatever link to the business manager is gone. The page, the Instagram, and all that. Don't even need to bother about that because you won't be able to use it to run ads anymore. It's all gone. Okay, but your profile. But having said that, you have already deleted your profile, so it's fine. So yeah, but my quick question to you here is no, the page will not be deleted unless you delete it if you can. But most of the time you can't. So I'll just say maybe we just let it go. And what you should consider doing right now is just borrow someone else's profile, create a new business manager, new ad account, new page, and start running ads. But that profile has to be a profile that has been around for a while. You don't just create a new profile and start doing that because usually that's going to get you restricted as well. So be very careful. You can actually find some of my old videos talking about how do we start a new business manager and stuff. Yeah, but just in case you need help navigating, and you can actually scan this QR code, which it will take you to my Fiverr gig where you can actually purchase a 30-minute Zoom call with me where we can go through your situation. I would analyze what your situation, as in like where you are right now. Are you at a dead end or you still have some other things that you can try to do? And I'll give you personalized recommendations on what you can do next. Okay, so that's that. And I would go through the last question today. So when you're new to Facebook advertising and you just launch your first campaign, one of the biggest questions a lot of new advertisers will get is, how do we know if the campaign is performing, if the ads is performing, if the campaign is performing, if the audience is performing? So a few things to look into. First, ask yourself, are you comfortable with the cost per result? So let's say if you're going for lead generation right now, are you comfortable with the cost per lead? So how do we know if the cost per lead is good? We always do the reverse calculation. So let's say you need 10 leads to get one sale, and each sale would yield you $1,000, for example. So you know that you're not supposed to spend more than $100 per lead to get one sale. That allows you to break even. So anything lower than that, you're profitable. Make sense? Because $100 per lead means 10 leads will spend you $1,000 and you get one sale, you make $1,000 back. That's break even. So if your cost per lead is lower, let's say $50 per lead, and you can still maintain one sale for 10 leads, then you're beautiful. So that's where we will start. So first question, are you comfortable with the cost per result? So if you are comfortable with the cost per result, great. Then we start looking at other things. Okay, so basically you need to actually work out that part first. Now, if let's say you have comfortable with a good cost per result, everything seems to be working. Now, your next question is, how do we take it to the next level then? So then the first thing we will analyze is the CTR. Now, there are two sets of CTR. We have CTR all, which stands for the percentage of people who click on anything else on the ad, because there are many things to click, right? Click on the like button, the link, the call to action button, and everything. Even the play the video is considered like an action. So that's everything. So the benchmark for CTR all is 2%. And then we have another CTR, which is called the CTR link click. So the benchmark for CTR link click, which is representing the number of people who click on the call to action button after seeing your ad, that is 1%. So 2 and 1%. So that's benchmark. I'm not saying that's carved on a stone. You know, if you're lower, then it's bad mode. As long as the first question is answered that you're comfortable with the cost per result, CTR is the next thing. So let's say if you're comfortable with the cost per result, okay, and your CTR is, let's say CTR all is 1%, CTR link click is 0.5%. That means even with low performance of your, I mean, basically these two indicates whether your ad is working or not, your ad creative. So even with the low performing ad creative at 0.5 link click through, so CTR, you are still getting that. Imagine if you're able to bump your CTR link click from 0.5% to 0.75%. That's a 50% improvement. That means you can potentially get 50% lower the cost. That means you will get probably 50% more clicks, I mean, more leads at the same amount that you're spending. Imagine that. So that's the first thing. Then, you know, we will try to tweak. And the other thing that we look into is your CPM. So if your CPM is way too high, we can try to actually look at if there is any that we can actually restructure the audience, test with different audience. So bringing down the CPM is also something that we can actually try that usually relate to your audience in the objective that you're selecting. And of course, we'll look at some other metrics like, let's say, you know, at the moment, 100 people who come to your landing page, only 5 of them turn into lead. If you're able to improve the landing page with stronger call to action to bring the conversion to maybe from, let's say now at 5% to 7%, that's allows you to get 7 more clicks or 7 more leads at the same amount that you're spending. So if the top of funnel, I mean, let's say the creative is optimized and the landing page is optimized, you can potentially see so much more leads with the same amount that you're spending. So that's where we kind of figure out what's working and what's not working with the campaign and try to do some optimization here and there. Remember, optimization is a process, but it's always important for us to start understanding what are the key metrics that we should look into, and we start optimizing one thing at a time from there. So if you're running ads, if you're new to Facebook advertising, or you have been running ads, you're not sure how to actually find out whether your campaign is working or not, I would recommend that you scan this QR code. It will take you to my Fiverr gig where we were gonna, it will allow you to actually purchase a 30-minute Zoom call with me, where we can actually have a one-on-one analysis session where I'm going to do 3 things with you. First, I'm going to build a dashboard, which I will combine all the metrics that you need to monitor for your business and for your campaign in sequence. So it's called dashboard. It will be saved in your ads manager. And after that, I'll be analyzing for you. So we will go through all the analysis and all that, and I will share with you how to do that on your own. And basically, you'll learn how to do that. And then lastly, as we analyze, I'm going to build you a plan about what are the few things that you can consider doing in the next few weeks, one thing at a time in sequence, which is called the action plan. So you can actually take this plan and start optimizing your campaign on your own. So one step at a time. And once you implement it, next week, maybe we can do it again and something like that. But always good to start with the first one. At least this will allow you to find out whether your campaign is working or not. And what can you do, hopefully, to take it to the next level. So if that's what you want, scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you. All right. So I think that brings us to the end of the session. At the moment, I don't see any questions coming up in the chat. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you have any questions, post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos, and I'm going to do that. And in case you need to have a one-on-one with me, just scan all these QR code that's scattering around, and I look forward to work with you. All right. With that, thank you so much. See you next week. Good night. Bye.